Erev Tov, good evening, Shalom Aleichem to everyone, and we're here with the weekly Devar Malchus class. And as our custom is, before the Devar Malchus class, we have the weekly story. This week it's going to be a double header. It's a double story, but it's actually two stories on the same topic. The topic is the actuality that we're living, we're breathing, we're seeing, we're hearing, especially hearing when we're talking about the air raid sirens. Rahman Litzlan, Hashem watch over us. But this has been a situation that's been going on already for a long time. We're talking about October 7th, but even beforehand, there were missiles that were being shot from Gaza. But when we're talking about the missiles that are being shot from the north, from the Hezbollah, Yamach Shemam v'Zichram, so there's no doubt that it's been very challenging, and it's been very painful. We've seen the loss of lives of soldiers and those of civilians, Rahman Litzlan, and we've seen we've seen injured, those that are hospitalized, those that are at home. Physical injury, mental injury. We're talking about traumatic experiences that people have been going through, and we're still here 400 plus days, 13, 14, 15 days with all, and the hostages are sitting in those dark, cold tunnels, in Gaza, and we have to shout out to Hashem, Ad Mosai. How long? How long is this going to continue? And the question is not how long it's going to continue. The point is that we have to demand from Hashem that it should stop, that He should return the hostages, that He should heal all the injured, that He should give the complete victory to all our soldiers and security forces in Eretz Yisrael and in all over the world. But together with all these demands, we have to also give our thanks and our praise to Hashem for all the miracles that we have been experiencing, that the soldiers and the security forces have been experiencing, that the regular civilian on the street has been experiencing. And about this, two stories that were related by Rabbi Harel. Who is he is a local Chabad rabbi here in the south of Tzfat, and he told the following stories. The first story he told was that it was a Shabbos, and Shabbos they have a regular routine. He takes his children and they go out to the playgrounds, and they repeat psukim, verses from the Torah and from our rabbis of blessed memory with the other children in the framework of Mesibot Shabbat, the Shabbos party, which is also part of the Tzivos Hashem, the Army of Hashem activities for Shabbos. And this Shabbos, it was outstanding in particular because the children were full of excitement, and when they were saying the verses word by word, they weren't just saying it out loud, but they were really shouting at the tops of their lungs, at the top of their lungs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the hands going out. Because there was that particular Shabbos. Right beforehand, there was there was some type of a situation, and therefore the Rabbi Harel said that in order to go and to disengage and to remove the threat of the enemy, so it's important that every single child should shout at the top of their lungs and make sure that the words of the pasuk of the verse should reach the ears of Hashem per se. And this is exactly what the children did. It's true that when they say the psukim, they also get a something sweet at the end. But here you could see, he said, that the children were not. It wasn't because that they were looking forward to a prize. It was because they were looking forward to go and to have their words heard by Hashem, in order to go and to see that everything should come to fruition, and everyone should be safe and secure in Eretz Yisrael. The following day, Sunday, it was the day after Chol HaMoed, Shabbos Chol HaMoed Sukkos. The day after Shabbos Chol HaMoed Sukkos, the rabbi they decided to take their family to his parents who live in Nof HaGalil, Natzat Elit. That's not far from here. It's like an hour and a quarter from here, from Tzfat. And they got into the car and they started to drive. And when they arrived at Eli Felet, that's the intersection. The intersection going out of the south of Tzfas. They decided to stop over there and to say Tfilas Haderech, to say the prayer of the journer. And as they were finishing the prayer for a person that is taking a journey, all of a sudden the sirens were sounded. And it was not just that the sirens were sounded. This particular place, Eli Felet, it's very, very close to a major army base, and for the Hezbollah Yamach Shmam, they made it a point to go and to try. Besides the fact that they don't really care, and they shoot missiles without differentiating between civilian areas and army bases, but they try very hard to go and to hit army bases as well. And this is an army base that it's still in their crosshairs as far as they can aim. Hashem should mix up all their aim, and all their missiles should blow up in their faces, wherever they may be found, without any casualties to our soldiers, of course, and to our civilians. But when they heard the air siren, so they immediately stopped the car. Well, they already stopped the car to say Tfilas Haderech, but they got out of the car. That's one of the instructions, that if a person is driving, they shouldn't remain in the car, because first of all, there is the gasoline in the tank, which can explode. And second of all, there's all the glass from the windows of the car that can, chas v'shalom, cause injuries. So therefore, the instruction is, if God forbid such a thing happens, and God forbid it shouldn't happen anymore, but the person should try to distance oneself from the car, and they all lie down, literally lie down with their hands over their heads, and they said that it was like it was like worse than a 4th of July. But we're talking about 4th of July in the middle of the day, because apparently it was like midday. It was 10 to 12. They left Tzfat 10 to 12, and they arrived there like 10 minutes later. 4th of July fireworks. If that wasn't enough, the main thing is that people have to be careful, because after the missiles that are intercepting, the intercepting missiles are shot. So these intercepting missiles, together with the missiles that is blown up, the enemy missile, they have terrible repercussions, because the pieces of the missile, they fall from the heavens, and they fall down. Some of them are very, very large, a few meters, literally a few meters wide, and this unfortunately actually caused injuries and even deaths to people. So as the siren goes on, and there's more missiles that are shot, So Rabbi Harel said to his wife, listen, we're right next to the army base, and the army base is where they're aiming. So he proposed to his wife, let's get into the car and drive away from here as far as as fast as possible, so we won't be in the area of the missiles that are falling, that are being shot. And this is what they did. They agreed. They got all the children into the car, and they started to drive down the highway. As they're driving down the highway, all of a sudden, excuse me, Rabbi Harel hears his wife shout out, "Stop immediately!" Out of the blue, she shouts out, "Stop immediately!" And he was shocked. He thought something happened. So in the middle of the highway, he hit the brakes and he stopped. Little did he know what was ahead of him. If he had continued the same speed that he was driving, we're talking about literally, with the speed and the distance, right there before them landed a piece of missile, which was not just a chunk of missile. We're talking about a piece that was like maybe 4 or 5 meters long, and it hit the road, and it burrowed into the asphalt of the road. Literally, we're talking about something that, wow, it's shocking to be able to see such a thing. And he's thinking, looking at his wife. They're sitting there in the middle of the road, and they're saying, "Wow, if chas v'sholom, he didn't hear his wife, he didn't, or he didn't listen to his wife, or for some reason she didn't notice because apparently she saw from her angle that there's something that's falling down, and it's about to hit the road. But with all these parameters, it was one miracle after the next miracle after the next miracle. And that was the first miracle that he had to tell in regard to the war. The second miracle, perhaps not less than the first miracle, and this has to do with the summer break, right? We all came from the summer break right before Rosh Hashanah, before Elul. We had the Ben Azmanim, and in the summer break, the yeshivas are not in their active learning in the yeshivas, the Talmudic academies, but they have summer activities and summer yeshivas for the students that want to sit down and to learn during the summer as well. It's like a summer camp that they stress over their study, but they also go out to outings and activities, and they have fun as well. As they're trying to organize the summer camp, the summer yeshiva camp, so the question that rose was, is it safe to go and to bring all the yeshiva students here to Tzfat and to organize such an enterprise, such a project? A summer camp with missiles being shot and sharpenel falling and who knows what, chas v'sholom. As Hasidim do, the fact of the matter is that the Rebbe says always that Eretz Yisrael is the Eretz Asher Einei Hashem Malikecha Ba. It's the land that the eyes of Hashem, our Hashem, is upon. Mireshis Hashana ve'ad Achris Shana, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and therefore there really isn't anything. Not only is there nothing to fear, but we should feel there's a mitzvah for us to feel totally protected and totally safe. Obviously, if there are instructions that we're supposed to adhere to, so we follow the instructions for safety. But otherwise, there's no questions asked. And this is what the Rebbe states in regard to all the times that there were threats and situations and predicaments here in the Holy Land. And not only that, but in comparison to all the other rest of the parts of the world, the Rebbe says that as calm and tranquil the other parts of the world seem, there's no safer and more protective place than Eretz Yisrael, than the Holy Land. Anyway, with all this being taken under consideration, as Hasidim, and they decided to write to the Rebbe. They wrote the Rebbe in the Igros Kodesh, and when they opened the letters of the Rebbe, and I have to read this. It's a quote. We'll translate from the Rebbe's answer. It's an incredible quote. The Rebbe wrote as follows: Hanholos Yeshivas Hakayitz. The Rebbe writes, Kfar Kosaftile, I have already written him, Sheyachdo lefached ma yaseh ben Odom, that he should cease from having fear in regard to what human beings will do to him. Ve'elokeinu shabashamayim, and Hashem that is in heaven, mashgiach al kol echad va'achas, he has his providence over each and every individual, b'hashgacha pratis, with divine providence. V'hu etzem ha'tov, and he is the essence of good. V'rak tzarich lases hatzineres v'hakelim, and all that is needed is to make the pipelines and the vessels le'amshochas v'kabolas b'chesov, to draw down and to receive his blessings. Vehem inyonei Torah u'mitzvosea, and these that we mentioned above, the pipelines and the vessels, are matters that are connected with the study of the Torah and the observance of the commandments of the Torah. Ukeshitzarich tosefes bracha, and when there is a need for additional blessing, tzarich lahosif b'Torah mitzvos. What is incumbent upon the individual is to add in the study of Torah and the observance of the commandments of the mitzvahs, shebahem v'al yodam, for it is for it is by them and through them, mekablim birches Hashem yizborach, one receives the blessings of Hashem, blessed be He. Obviously, there was no question after this answer was received. The yeshiva camp took place, and there were hundreds, not just a handful, but there were hundreds of students that attended the yeshiva camp here in Tzfas, and they all enjoyed their stay very much, and they all definitely studied immensely Torah, Hasidic philosophy, Hasidus, and Nigle, and the revealed facets of the Torah. But beyond the fact that they had a good time and they studied Hasidus and Nigle, the revealed and the esoteric parts of the Torah, the inner essence of the Torah, what they accomplished was to be able to go and to bring even greater blessing and protection and safety to all the Teishavim, all those that live here in the north, and especially the people that live here in Tzfas. And Yehi Rotzen, may it be Hashem's will, that we should continue to add in the pipelines and the vessels in order to bring the blessings of Hashem. And as we said before, as the Rebbe mentions, these pipelines and vessels are in the addition and our adding of Torah and the Torah study, and in our adding of the observance of the mitzvahs in quality and quantity. And as we see tonight, Baruch Hashem, there are many people that we haven't seen for quite a time, and everyone is here together. We're all learning Torah together, and in order to go into observe the mitzvahs of the Torah together. And Baruch Hashem, we should only see the goodness of Hashem on a good and revealed basis with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach, and it should be immediately now. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu V'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach Chai V'Kayam Le'olam Voed.